thank you. Welcome back to coming to Cruel Angel Gaming. So today we're going to be on the final episode of Paul Walker's car. We're going to finish building this. It shouldn't take us too long. I hope it doesn't take us that long, I should say. Once we get this car rebuilt, we're just going to sell it to the museum, or anybody that wants it, really. You're going to have to pay a lot of cash to do so, though. I'll just give them away. I could, but it's not gonna be worth it. They're gonna have to pay. Somebody has to pay the money, you know. But other than that, it doesn't take too long. Once everything gets, repaired, we're doing pretty good. We got most of the main motor left to build. Once we build the motor, get all that built. That motor will be finished, and that will be the only thing really that we got left. Finishing the motor is going to be the simplest thing. Yep, well, most of the parts now. Still going to have to install parts where I don't have them, or if I can buy them or think to. It's going to be about the only thing that I can think of. Because there is going to be some times where I don't buy the part that I need. Well, once we get that figured out, we got a lot of everything else figured out. Alright, so we have to buy those. Just gotta buy stupid parts, that's pretty much what it comes down to. At least with this motor, just, clips, this, that, and the other. It's whatever. Once we rebuild that motor, it'll probably be the fastest motor that I've put in any of these cars. And it may not have a lot of horsepower, but it's going to have a lot of torque. And I don't think this car is going to be able to handle it. Not even in a straight run. You're going to have to be light on the pedal. Otherwise, this thing will probably just drift sideways. At least from what I understand. But what do I know? I just know that if you get going at a certain speed, and when you get the motor built, it's gonna be going pretty good. I don't know. I don't have any specific where I think it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be pretty powerful. We're putting a lot of aftermarket parts on it, as much as we can. Usually the more aftermarket parts that we put on, usually that increases our chances of having extreme torque, and I think this thing's gonna have extreme powers of torque. Do I know that for sure? No, but I bet it's gonna be more than this normal engine would be normal. I know the engine normal on this thing has a lot of power. We're gonna have double to maybe triple that. At least on just the torque power alone. But because this car is so light, that's my other question is, because the car is going to be so lightweight, the really only semi-heavy thing is going to be the motor. If we start sliding out, there's not a lot on the rear end. I think it'll probably drift sideways, not even intentionally. I think it's just gonna be normal, there's nothing you can do really. Because the more horsepower that I put into this car, there's just a lot more chance for it to become that much more squirrely. I don't know if it's gonna be that squirrely, but I've seen some squirrely cars, but I don't wanna have the problem of where it becomes too uncontrollable to drive into the corners, but I think it'll be perfectly fine. Looks like we got some more parts to buy. Belts and stuff like that, because I don't have any of that stuff on hand. I don't even got an alternator. But we'll put a performance alternator on it. That's my main goal, is to put a lot of performance into it. And I mean a lot. once we get, by the time it probably gets built up to, I think this is has 5 gears, I think, in the transmission. Yeah, I think it has 5. I could be wrong. There's not a lot I can do about that. But I'm thinking once we get pretty much everything built on it, we'll be fine. We just, are gonna have to be kind of careful how we build things, make sure we do everything the correct way, which, never hurt anybody, but getting a lot of it rebuilt. Pretty soon we'll get some tires on it. That's at least my plan. My plan is just to get everything built on this car today and finish it. I don't care if we gotta, I don't know if we have the correct paint, like, wrap for it, but I think we do, but I'm not sure. Even if we don't have the wrap, we'll just paint it the color for now. Then I'll fix that problem later. Let's lift it up. It's time for that transmission to go in. I think it has 5. I'm not exactly sure though. Should have 5 forward gear. That makes sense. Alright, we just gotta buy an aftermarket transmission and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing holding us back. That and an oil filter and, little odds and ends. Just gotta put all these, rod caps on. But once we get all those on, then we can finally put the oil pan on. But I think it has an oil filter. I'm not exactly sure on this block. Yep, it has one. Okay. For that transmission. Once we get that transmission put in, it's not gonna be too long. Once everything's rebuilt, transmission wise, then I can pretty much put this car down, put some wheels, or I should say get some wheels and then put some wheels on it. Let's put the wheels and tires on, then that means that it's pretty much a drivable car at that point. That's pretty much the only thing that, we were missing is the drivable portion of it, which it will be. And then once we're past the driving stage, it'll look pretty nice too. But we got, most of the rear suspension built. I mean, that was taking a lot of the time. But everything's put together now. I mean, everything takes a little bit more extra time because I'm trying to make it look good. But everything runs fine now. So all we got left to do is some wheels on, get a couple seats. That's really about it. And then, we'll see what it's got performance-wise, but, it shouldn't take too long. Once we know what it's going to be capable of performance-wise, then we're doing good, and everything will be running according to the plan. But it looks like right now, all we got to do is, get the right tire size, and make sure we don't mess that up, and we'll be good to go after that. Alright, so let's finish up doing what we gotta do to this vehicle today. All we got left to do really is tires, interior, and body, and get a license plate. And get it plated, I should say. But I don't know about getting a license plate on it, like, right away. I think we'll just put one of our test drive plates, put one of those on it. One of the ones that, you can actually trust. I ain't gotta worry about everything, but I think once we get everything on there, we'll take it to the test track. or the abandoned airport, I should say. We'll test everything there. Shouldn't take too long after that, I wouldn't think. You know, decide what we're gonna do with it next. But I want to take it out for a minute. Once I get done with it, you know. Drive around, see what I think of it. But I think it's gonna be one heck of a machine, I think is what it's gonna be, because it's a light car without any suspension in it. It's like super light at that point. So, I mean, I put everything that I can originally back with the suspension. So my thing is, are we gonna have the issue of where we're gonna have all of this horsepower and this car is just gonna be too squirrely to drive? That's just a thought I just had. Like, it's gonna be too much, I think, horsepower for these wheels. I think that could be the issue, but I'm not 100% sure neither. I wouldn't be able to know that, I guess, unless, you know, put the tires on it, take it out, you know, finish the body and all that, and then figure out what we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna tell you this right now. That car is gonna be really, really squirrely. I don't know who's gonna be driving it. I think I might either sell it to the museum somewhere or sell it to somebody that really wants it, but I'm gonna have to be really careful with it, because I think it's gonna have too much horsepower. Which, by the time you have, you know, when you have too much horsepower, it just starts doing, you know, the rear end wants to swing out free all the time of you. That's gonna be, I think, a common problem on this vehicle. I'm not 1,000% sure that that's gonna be a thing, but I think it will be, because I know how much the motor is putting out stock, and we've added a bunch of power to it since then. I'm just seeing what I gotta have. So I make a list. Sticking parts list, right? Oh man, we need like one of everything. Alright, we ain't got hardly anything for it. Alright, we can fix that. Let me go to the interior shop first. Obviously, let me finish that part up. Let me get all that done. That shouldn't take, you know, too long. Then we can start putting it together. There we go. Got a front bumper. That's good. I don't know what else we got. Got some stuff, I guess. I referenced pictures for the headlights and taillights. Or at least the ones that I had. But, yeah. Just what I wanted to do. Because there's like different options for, you know, headlights and taillights and stuff. I just wanted to choose whatever I could, you know, to kind of match it to the real thing. The back taillights are the same ones that were on the car, so that's a good thing at least. I used a photo that I had and found on Google and just kind of matched it the best way that I could. Now, there are obviously going to be some things that we can't do, but most of it we can. It shouldn't take too long to get everything installed. Once everything's installed, the longest time it took me, it was, you know, looking at a list, trying to figure out what we need. Because when I write lists down, like, they're pretty thick. Like, there's like a long, I have like a notebook full of just lists that we no longer have, but I made them like a long time ago. Still have them. You know, it's just what I find that is the easiest way to do it sometimes. Alright. Should have this back together in a minute. Okay. Damn tail lights. Alright. Those are the ones from the car, it looked like. Though I couldn't tell from the angle that I had the car at, or the image that the car was in, from the image that I had found, but we'll just match it the best we can. Alright, that shouldn't, no, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, I had that. I think besides needing, I don't know how many license plates I need. I think I need a license plate. We'll just put a California license plate on it to match the theme. And I think other than that, like, there's not much more like needs to be done. I don't even know what's going on here. I think this is when the Accord became unplugged. And we were just like, what do we do? I wanted to give it the actual license plate, but I couldn't tell what the actual license plate was. Kind of sucks. I hate it, but we weren't able to determine what it was. I went back and looked at the movie. It doesn't really show that, so I don't know. I just put a California license plate on it. We didn't have the one style of plate that it originally had on it, but we have a California plate. We put that on it, I guess. Like, I scoured for images of it. Nobody has one. I was hoping somebody did, because then I was going to give it that custom license plate number. But couldn't, because I can't find it. So, I mean, that's what's going to take us right now into this part, is I'm trying to figure out what the actual freaking license plate was. Did anybody have it? Has anybody seen it? No, nobody has. So, that's kind of what's going on. So I just decided, okay, we'll just put a regular California plate on it. Alright, looks pretty good. I don't see anything what we're missing. Other than, we'll put it in the paint shop real quick, because you don't need oil in the engine for that. Also, we'll go ahead and do this real quick with the interior. Maybe I already have it saved, so I just gotta install them. There we go. I looked to see if we had the decal. We do not, for whatever weird reason. I don't know if it, whether it's a good or bad reason, but we just didn't have it. But we had the same color, so that's at least good. Looks nice. Yeah. This is when I was like, do I want more gloss or less gloss, or what do I want? And then I, found out which one looked pretty good. Alright, I gotta put some oil in real quick. To get the oil in, we'll be able to send it off on that test drive. Got that checked off. Keep looking at my list to see like what I got left. I'm just checking things off as I go. Okay, let's do this. Oh boy, that's some big increases. I mean, for this vehicle, this is... Alright, let's see if we can get down here. Go to the abandoned airport. There we go. Oh my goodness, man. It's too hard to control. It's really, really hard to control. Alright. Doesn't look hard, but it is hard to control this car. I'm even like watching my speed and all that. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Still kind of a weird, with the speed and that. Don't ask me, because I really don't know how to explain it, but it's not that good. Like, the speed's too good for it, and it just tries to like crash itself out in the corners, as you can tell here. I tried to just barely tap it, and it just wanted to keep going sideways, so I guess I was right about that. It wouldn't go sideways on you for no reason. but I guess me being right, it's a pretty good thing. Alright, I would thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.